no love until it was like, nigga, fuck it. If y'all don't not gonna respect the fact we from Jersey, well, fuck it, we gonna own it. Kind of like when LeBron went to the Heat, well, fuck it, we gonna be the villains then. So we was coming over there and we was on some Southside shit. Every time we was on stage, Southside in the building, the crowd would get louder and louder. Every show we did, we was just building the fan base with like Southside. To the point where motherfuckers from Jersey, you know how bougie motherfuckers is. Niggas not trying to drive nowhere. They was paying that $5 toll to come to Philly and see this show because we was over there on some shit every time. So we just built that shit up, and then we just had to get on some business shit. My man right here, Jose, you feel me? We just pretty much, after we built the shit up and had the movement, we just gave him the business pretty much. And it's about to get so much crazier now that we got the LLC for this shit. Niggas can't take the $ shit no more. Like, we just gotta have your P's and Q's. You gotta have all your paperwork right. Like, you can't half-ass with this shit. So you feel me? And this is just how we doing it. Like, these are the niggas that was with me when I was at the bottom. And that's just who I've been rocking with. No matter where the fuck they came from, they just been real ass niggas since the day I met them. And I just fuck with real individuals. So
y'all saying we can't take the $ no more. So if I tell somebody owe me $100, I can't put that shit.
Y'all had to cut that check, bro.
Fact.
Y'all were willing to pay. I let y'all borrow
talking shit
for a week. That's it.
That's a lot of money because a lot of people put that $.
A lot of people. I see that.
Nah, you just can't have them $2 talking about Southside.
I'm gonna have to cut that out.
That's what it is. Just don't have them $2 talking about Southside.
It's official now, so I might get in trouble.
We gonna support that shit. You know what I mean? We can flip that bread, start the label ASAP.
So that's how the Southside movie came about.
Yeah.
And did you get anybody that heard Southside? Did you just start having people, all right, you can be on the team? Or y'all was already set, then y'all made Southside?
Southside was like, we was already good. Southside was just some shit that like, because I was already working with Kev Rogers and Ish Williams, and we was just already like niggas who made music together. Once we started doing that and shit, we was like, we need an identity. Not only do we need an identity, this whole region needs an identity. Like South Jersey they don't even get claimed by North Jersey. Like North Jersey be playing South Jersey the fuck out. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? So all right, imagine you in South Jersey and this little piece of Jersey gets played the fuck out. On top of that, you from the little city that on top of that don't even want to get owned by South Jersey. Like, oh, this shit right here and just need to burn and die. So it's like you build this underdog, this back against the wall type mentality. And it was like every time I'm on stage, it's like, you don't gotta fuck with me. How long I got? I got 10 minutes up here. I'm up here for 10 minutes. I'm talking my shit. You gonna hear what the fuck I gotta say. I'm gonna give you energy. And 9 times out of 10, or 10 times out of 10 nowadays, they go back and be like, who the fuck is Mayor Fontane? Go back and they just listen to my shit, and then they hit me up on Twitter, they hit me up on that. Another thing, you gotta reach out to your fans. Like a lot of these niggas be bougie, like not trying to talk to their fans and not trying to actually interact with them. Like these are the niggas that's making you famous. These are the niggas that's actually putting you in this position. So you gotta talk to these people. These are the people that's willing to ride or die for you. Niggas leave bad comments on my Instagram. These are the niggas that's fucking snapping for no reason on them, like for days type shit. Like these niggas go hard. So it's like you gotta go hard for them. And it's like everything they giving you, you gotta give back.
Yeah, I definitely seen a Mayor Fontane fan go crazy.
Right, like they snap.
I witnessed it, my nigga. I was like, whoa, like shit was crazy.
But yeah, that's what happens when you dedicate it and people feel that shit. So people willing to actually go to war for you because they know that you don't really got time for the shit, because they know that you got a bigger purpose right now. You on a mission right now. And I'm at a point, I'm young as shit. I feel old as fuck now since I started rapping and all this shit happened. Like I just feel stressed. I'm like my sleep patterns all fucked up. I wake up 5 in the morning for no fucking reason. Like shit just be crazy. But this is what I wanted. This is what I asked for. And they make me proud. I do it for the fucking city. Because I remember this shit. And this is one of the shit that stick with me when niggas talk about music. I was in creative arts high school. And we had an assembly. We didn't have a fucking auditorium and shit. So we was inside the dance theater. We didn't have a cafeteria. We didn't have a gym. We didn't have a lot of shit. But I remember we in the our auditorium. And one of the teachers up there, he's talking. He said, yo, we got so much talent in Camden. We got awards for this. You got, what's her name, Tasha Smith on the Tyler Perry Jones. Like, he's bringing up all these names and shit. He was like, but I'm still just waiting on that one person to bring home a Grammy. And that shit stuck with me. I'm like, I'm going to be that nigga to bring home a Grammy. I'm a drawing ass nigga in creative arts talking about I'm going to bring home some musical shit. But I remember I said that shit. I was like, I'm going to be the one to bring home a Grammy. You feel me? He was like, go ahead, do it. Like, he encouraged me, but it was like, on some, yeah, okay. Go ahead, do it. Go do it. Do that shit. So, but it's all good, you feel me? And then when it actually happened, that's why it just make all this shit even crazier for it to actually happen. And like I used to see this shit in the movies, like, oh, we wanted to be in the position, but I told you so. But now that I'm in this position, I don't even want to do that shit. I just want to keep being great because I know it's killing them. Like, damn, like, oh, I stunned it on this nigga. And he not even coming back at me for this shit. It's like he's just killing me with more shit. Oh, this nigga's doing this. He got a documentary coming out. Oh, the fuck. It's killing you. I love that. You know what I mean? I don't got to say too much. I just work. That's all I'm trying to do right now. And, yeah, that's what we're going to continue to do.
So how did you create that sound? It's not a regular sound that you got. I mean, it's something different. How did you work on that craft?
It started, I was just rapping. I was just like, the type of rap that I like, it was like storytelling, lyrical shit. I paid attention to what you were saying. I was paying attention to all of that shit. But when it was coming down to the time where, all right, take over time is when you hit the stage. When it was time for me to perform the songs, I can give as much energy as I want and shit, but it was like I was restricted because my music was so soft, so smooth, so heavily detailed on hearing the words and shit. So it wasn't so much to perform. I started making music that was fun for me to perform, but I wasn't going to sacrifice my creativity like on some mumble rap shit. Like, I don't care how hard the beat is. I'm not just going to say the same thing over with a bunch of ad-libs, call it a hit song. Like, I take way more pride in my shit. So it's like I pretty much took what's popping now as far as the bumping beats and all that shit. I've been telling storytelling shit. My music will always have substance. I'm pretty much just taking that and I'm taking what's popping now and I'm just fusing them shits together. So it's like you're forced to listen to it because you already bopping your head to the beat. And then when you realize I'm saying some shit, you're a fan already. You don't even know you're a fan now. You're going to know the hook before it's over. That's how it is. Down by the rip. Most of the shit on Camden, that's how most of it is. You going to know this shit before it's over. By the time you get to the last hook, you're going to know it. Or you're going to at least know the fucking melody to the shit. It was heavily based on melodies with me because I grew up, before I started listening to rap, I used to be in my grandpa whip. He used to work at, he was a teacher at Camden High for 34 years, and I used to go to school at Forest Hill. So he used to drive me from East Camden to Camden High. I used to be in his class for like 10 minutes, and he'll walk me across the like right next door to Forest Hill, and I used to just go over there. But the whole time, every car ride, even when he picked me up, we was listening to WJJZ or Tom Joyner in the morning, all that slow jazz, all that back in the day, old school type music. I know all of it. So it's like that's where I get my rhythm from. That's where I get my melody and my sound. I first started, I was just rapping. I wasn't trying to sing or none of that shit, even though I had the ability to do that. And I was like, man, I'm not trying to be no singing ass nigga. But it was like, it came to a point. I'm like, yo, I can draw, I can sing, I can do all of this shit. Why not? And I'm in the worst position possible. So I'm gonna use everything that I have to my advantage. Like, you know how many rappers out here gonna clown me for singing, but at the end of the day, I don't care who you is. Every nigga wish they know how to sing. At one point.
Bitches love it. And Drake proved that.
Like, come on, you feel me? So I was just like, yo, man, I'm gonna draw my own covers. I'm gonna sing on these tracks. I'm gonna do everything I want to do. And it was just like, I don't give a fuck who fuck with it or not. I'm making music for me at this point. And if niggas fuck with it, they're gonna gravitate to it. And those are the niggas that I'm making the music for. If they fuck with it, even when I'm not even trying to adhere to what they like. So that's what I continue to do. That's what's been working. And yeah.
So how's your studio process? Are you like one of the Biggie types? You know how Biggie listened to the instrumental a few times, got some head, went in the studio, made a song. You like that, or you come out, you know, you do your thing in your room by yourself, and you come in the studio and make music?
I mean, I kind of do both. It depends on what type of mood I'm in. Like, I could be in the studio, even if I'm not in the studio. Like, say Kev would just throw on the beat or whatever, I'll come up with a whole hook, half a verse right then and there. But I won't record it until later because, like, we don't have access to the studio like that. Like, I'll wait until we get to the master studio before I just go record some shit for the sake of recording it because I need my shit to sound a certain way every time. And that's usually what I do. I'll probably sit on like 6-7 songs that's not even recorded yet and just keep on going until I get to the studio because I can knock out 3 or 4 songs in an hour. Like, I don't fuck around in the studio. Once I get to the studio, I'm not sitting there writing. I'm not trying to rehearse it and shit. Like, I'm in there. You fat me, you know what I mean? I'm in there one time. One take Jake out here. Like, I try to go in there and it be done. Like, what you doing? What you feel me? Like, I'm not trying to fuck around in there. Time is money. And it's like, if I could do it like that and I know how fast I work, so I'll just sit back and I'll just create songs because I'm a perfectionist. And if I'm moving too fast, I'll end up going in there recording some shit and then be like, I don't even fuck with this one. But if I sit on it for a little bit, even though it comes that fast to me, I can already pick out what I don't like, pick out how I'm gonna say it once I get into the studio and shit. So by the time I go into the booth, what's good? Kenny loaded up, bang, bang, bang. We in there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm out. I'm just watching the mix by now. I'm just rolling up already. I still got a half an hour left in the session, and just to fuck around. So that's just how I was moving. It was just like I learned all of that just coming up. Time is money. You gotta take pride in everything you do. Don't be afraid to tell a nigga if your shit don't sound right. That's your shit, and this is your career. This is your livelihood that you playing with. That's how it was for me. Once I ain't had no job and shit, I'm like, this is my job. You can't fuck around with nothing that I'm doing. This is how I'm eating right now. So yeah, that's how we rocking.
Where you get Mayor Fontane from? Because I followed you when you did the Cypher.
Yeah.
And you was Mayor Got Bars.
Right.
Where did you get, and why did you change the name?
I was at a point in my career where I was really trying to turn up with this rap shit. And I felt like Mayor Got Bars sounded too much like an internet rapper. Like, niggas not gonna take this nigga serious. So even if I do blow up, like, Mayor Got Bars, that's his real name? Like, you feel me? It also kind of sounded like what the Chicago rappers was trying to do at the time. So I'm like, not from Chicago. Let's get away from that. Fontane came from, I was watching The Godfather and Johnny Fontane. Johnny Fontane was this smooth-ass, singing-ass nigga that had all the bitches. All the ladies loved him, and he was about to do movies. He was about to do all this other shit. But when fuck niggas from the industry got in the way, all he had to do was talk to the mob or talk to the mafia, and they handled it. He never got his hands dirty. All he had to do was look pretty, fuck bitches, and worry about getting to the success. And he was pretty much making sure the mob was eating and shit too. So it was like, that's me. That makes sense. You feel me? I don't gotta do none of that shit. All I gotta do is focus on getting this bag and then everybody eats. So I was like, I'm gonna just keep Mirror because that's who I am. And I ain't want to just be some stage name, complete stage name. So it was just like Mirror Fontane, and it just rolled off the tongue. I'm like, I fucks with that.
So 300, they love the name. They didn't
Right.
ask to change it or anything like that? Okay.
300 ain't asked to change nothing.
Okay, they love that.
Nothing.
What caught their attention?
I think it was Wani Wag. Was doing Wani Wag. Wani Wag was blowing up. Southside as a whole was pretty much blowing up. That whole movement was popping in Philly. Charlie Heat had did the remix to it and shit. And he threw a show, Charlie Heat and Friends.
Philly?
Now Charlie Heat from Woodbury.
Okay.
Yeah. So he did a remix of that shit. It was a big ass Jersey joint. They threw Mike Zombie and shit on it. So he was throwing a concert for that joint. We did it in Philly over at this nightclub called Coda. That shit fit like 300 people. That shit was packed. Damn near almost, I want to say, like all the motherfuckers just waiting for us to come out. All of them was just waiting for us to come out. We only had one song. That's all we was doing was Wani Wag. He only gave us one song set. So we was like, fuck it. So we went out there, did that joint. It was so packed. That was like my first taste of like a packed show and how much energy that many people can bring me. That was my first time performing in front of that many people. So I bodied that joint. And at that time, it's like 300 A&Rs and shit in the balcony. And they just watching or whatever. So we just did that shit, and after that, like, they kept coming out to certain shows, and they showed their face or whatever. Tape come out. Who's Watching the Kids? Down by the River just blows up out of nowhere. I didn't expect Down by the River to be the single, none of that shit. It just blew up once the tape dropped. That shit ends up going number 6 in America on Spotify, number 15 in the world on Spotify, and it was just hitting, like, all over the border without any label contacts. Niggas wasn't putting out no bread. Niggas wasn't doing none of that shit. So they like, how the fuck and who the fuck? So they just hit me up and just was like, come to the office and shit. We went up to the office. We talked shit out. I pretty much told her what I was looking for. I said, I want a family atmosphere. I really don't want to sign to a label. I want to be partnered with a label. You feel me? I want to keep creative control of all my shit. No 360 deal, none of that nonsense. I want all of this shit pretty much. And it was like, all right, fine. We went back and forth for a couple days, drafting the contract, adding shit that wasn't in there, stuff like that. We figured it out. I signed in October, and I announced it when I was on tour with P&B Rock and Shy Glizzy and them at the Philly stop, which was the last stop. Then that shit just blew the fuck up, and here we are. Yeah.
How was that? You was hyped?
I was hyped. It wasn't what I expected though, cause like, you know, when niggas sign, you expect to walk up into this big ass office. There's a whole bunch of heads and shit in there. They got contract on the long ass table. It's a bunch of Henny, his naked bitches and shit. They like, nigga, you about to sign, you about to be rich type shit. I'm waiting for that, but it wasn't none of that. It was real simple, straightforward. They sent the fucking contract over like through email, and I had digitally signed type shit, and then they signed, and it was just pretty much just done from there. It was like I signed my deal from my bed in my room. Like, it was that simple. Like, everything, it was that simple. It was like, well, I drive all the way up to New York and shit just to sign the paper. It was like, I'm gonna just send that to you now. Right, you want to be signed right now, or you want to wait till tomorrow? I'm like, fuck it, just send that shit. And then we just did it. And yeah.
So how is the contract though? Like you signed with them for just one?
It's a distribution. It's a distribution contract. So pretty much, like everything I dropped while I was under the contract goes through 300. They signed me for Down by the River.